All right, folks. I'm gonna let everybody get in here. This is Matt, the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. Piledriver Pulse and Twitter. You know the shindig. We are gonna try this out here. Actually, I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move this because I don't like this. Not being able to see the chat very well. So I'm gonna try something here. Hang on. There we go. Nope. Don't like that. I know I'm kind of. Actually, it's a little, maybe a little too. I was gonna turn that light on, but I'm not gonna do that. All right, we are live. I can't really go on the Twitter space to look that up because, but yeah, we'll see how that works here. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. I've actually figured out how to plug my microphone into my phone because very easy thing. All you have to do is get one of these little suckers here, little adapter. Got that off Amazon. I think $15, I believe. Anywho, there wasn't apparently a slight delay. I thought there was going to be, but anyway, what's going on, guys? Like I said, this is a Misfit Wrestling Podcast with your daily dose of, well, not daily. I haven't been done one of these lives in forever, but I thought I'd hop on here and do one differently this time. This is a one for my phone. Eventually, we will get back to the normal streams, which would be the stuff, the graphical stuff you see that you are used to seeing on my streams and my videos and all that stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, we got a lot of topics to go over. I'm hopefully, let's see if we can get into. Let's see. Am I still live? Yes, I am. Okay, maybe I can actually get into the chat. Oh, maybe I can. I didn't even think about it. Okay. I guess I didn't have to write a lot of notes down. So let's go to. All right. So I tell people I'm alive now. Okay, let's go to my
Hey, Matthew. Can you pause it for a second?
Sorry, guys. I'm gonna see if there's. Hold on, I'm gonna see if there's a way to. Can I? All right, let me hear. Hold on a second. I'll be right back, guys.
Well, I need you when you have a second.
I can't. Why can't I not get rid of the dang chat? Oh, that's how that works. Sorry about that, guys. Apparently, we have 7 viewers in here. So imagine that. Oh, there we go. There we go. Random, okay, but well, anyway, let's do some of this shit that we gotta talk about here. So, a lot of topics to get through here this week, which apparently I'm still trying to figure out how to use this. Let's go to Blood Money. Blood Money, who has actually been a supporter and a viewer of the channel for quite a while. So yeah, we're gonna try to do this again because it's been a very long time since I've actually done one of these lives here. Hopefully, I'll be able to get back to doing the normal way I was doing it, which was the fancy graphics and shit like that, and actually be able to look at my computer screen to do notes and stuff. Maybe I can actually use, since I can actually minimize the screen that I'm using with this here to I guess read some of the news that I have written down here. But we're gonna start off with I guess we're gonna start off with the Night of Champions stuff, which just happened earlier today, because that is the freshest thing in people's mind. We crowned a king. Well, first of all, you know the deal. I've already told you. The Piledriver Pulse on Twitter, Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram. I gotta get back up on that. I really don't use Threads. I don't think anybody else uses Threads anymore. And don't ask me about Facebook because not a single person actually uses Facebook. So let's be real here. So yeah. So well, all right. So here's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna run through the stuff that happened in Night of Champions first. Get that out of the way here because that's kind of the freshest thing in people's mind. And WWE news is gonna be the first thing because again. First thing, the freshest thing in people's mind, I guess you could say, all that. And then we're gonna get into, I guess we'll save Forbidden Door and NXT stuff for last because that is later on tonight. When I talk about TNA, I can run through the TNA Slammiversary card. I don't really care that much about TNA, given all the stuff that's been happening with it. So there's that, and we got Stardom recap, which it's been a while since I've done a Stardom recap. A lot of stuff has went down with Stardom in the past couple months, so we'll talk about that. WWE trademarking a name for possibly Hiromu Takahashi, and I'll explain why, because of the meaning of it, which I actually had to look it up because I wasn't sure if it was a Japanese word or not, but it is, so there's that. I thought I'm still trying to figure out how to use the app on my phone. I've never used the app because at first I didn't know they had one app, but they did. So yeah, there's that. Yeah. Blame my brother, guys. If I could, there's not a way for me to turn off the camera on here on the app, so I couldn't really do it here. So who fucking cares about John Cena, by the way? I don't care. He's retired. Move on. Okay. Anyway, so we'll get some stuff there. So you get AAA news. I'll throw some little bit of AAA news here and all that stuff here, and I will also throw in because if you guys saw my stories that I had, I think it was the stories. I'm not entirely sure, but I went to my first AEW show back last month on May 6th. I'll share that experience too because I haven't actually shared it with you guys. Thought it was pretty fun and stuff like that. So yeah, so we're gonna start with Night of Champions. Night of Champions really was a nothing show outside of 2-3 major things happening on the show. Obviously, we had our King of the Queen finals, which I still, thankfully, they did the right thing there with crowning the correct winners, not the ones TKO would want you to pick. And also Sami Zayn winning the WWE Championship, which I didn't really think they were going to do it because I don't know, just something tells me I didn't think they were going to do it. So yeah, so we'll run through the card here and all that stuff here. We started the show off with Obafemi and Jey Uso. Yes, they put Jey Uso in the finals. Why? I do not know. I don't know their infatuation with this man, but thank God they decided not to put this man in the world title picture again. Though it wouldn't surprise me if now that he lost, he's just going to get a championship match anyways, but who knows. Obafemi won, no surprise there. I didn't really like that they had him, or not him, but more so Jey Uso get a little bit more offense on there. Because we saw this man, we saw Obafemi, who is massively over, by the way. Thank God, because he's awesome. I love Obafemi. Obafemi is great. We saw Obafemi at WrestleMania squash Brock Lesnar, and they took 7 F5s, took out Los Garza, War Raiders, and I forget who. Oh, and basically the Judgment Day with Dom and JD, and basically by himself. And here he is with Jey freaking Uso having to struggle with some of the part of the match. I'm like, why? But it didn't matter anyways. We saw. I did love the Uso splash into the choke slam. That was a nice reverse spot there by Obafemi. But just couldn't put him away. Hit him with the fall for grace. Well, that one, I don't know what the hell he calls it, but it's like a back suplex, back suplex. I can't talk tonight. Back suplex throw that he does. I don't know if he actually has a name for it. And then he hit the fall from grace. 1, 2, 3, clean. I really thought, a lot of people thought we're going to see Brock Lesnar somehow get involved here. And that's probably how people thought Jey Uso would have won the King of the Ring. Thank God they didn't. But Oba beat Brock. He beat Brock, but he beat Jey Uso clean to get the victory here. Didn't say who he was going to challenge, but there's 2 scenarios they can play out here, and I'll talk about that when we get to the main event. The plan, from what I understood, was going to be Brock and Oba, but we don't know now because they still are lingering around with that Brock Lesnar rematch. There's going to be a third match between those two. We'll find out when, hopefully, in the next few weeks, because there's a big show coming up in Madison Square Garden called Saturday Night's Main Event, and I'll give you, because I threw this. Originally, I was in the assumption that Cody was going to retain, and Oba wins King of the Ring, and I thought they were going to do the rematch between Oba and Brock at Saturday Night's Main Event. That was a pitch I had, and then he can, because I don't envision seeing Oba wrestling twice on that show in Minneapolis at SummerSlam. Anyway, so there's that. There's that. But I'll talk about the idea. Either has been floated around or something, or I don't like this idea, but we'll get to it when we get to the main event. We saw Danhausen come out. Danhausen, who, let's be real, I know a lot of people like to they use the word fumble in a weird way. I would absolutely say that AEW fumbled Danhausen in the terms of they didn't know how to market him. Right, and I saw people on social media saying, "Well, they were never going to put him out there at these games and stuff like that." I'm like, well, because they never tried, they never attempted to, and here's WWE doing it. He's having this whole thing with uncursing. He uncursed the next one, the I almost said the World Cup, the championship game, the NBA championships. Congratulations to them, by the way. Then he cursed he cursed the Carolina Hurricanes. They lost, and then uncursed them. So there's that. I don't know if he's uncursed. I don't know if he's cursed another team. I think he did, and then they lost. And tonight he cursed Liv Morgan. So the story there is, I believe it was not last week. I think it was a couple weeks ago where they had the semifinals. The semifinals between Dominic Mysterio and Obafemi, and in the back they're doing this thing with Danhausen, who is possibly underneath that girl, whatever sheet thing, possibly Baron Corbin. That's the idea. But Liv Morgan came in there and tried to flirt her way into telling, or at least getting Danhausen to curse Obafemi. That wasn't going to work. Or at least he ignored her and tried to get all these demands, or Demenhausens, as like he likes to call them. Then, let's see, what else did he do? Oh, then I guess then Dominic and JD came in later on that night, offered, I think it was $100,000, I think it was, to Danhausen to curse Obafemi. He took the money, disappeared, didn't curse them, or not him, them, what the heck is the name, Oba. And so there was that. And then later on, and by the way, if you guys don't know, Dominic is still technically cursed, because the first night Danhausen introduced himself to Dominic Mysterio, Dominic got cursed and lost the Intercontinental title. Penta, who, by the way, who's having a phenomenal run with the Intercontinental Championship. I would say best reign since Gunther. We'll talk about Gunther and how his stock has fallen. We'll talk about that. But yeah. So there's that. Then we get to tonight, or last night, basically. Liv Morgan comes out to interrupt Danhausen. Well, first of all, on Raw, JD and Dom went to go confront Danhausen by getting the money back. JD gets shocked. Liv Morgan basically talks about herself. All this stuff happens here. Then basically ignores Roxanne, which surprised that there was no Judgment Day appearance on the show. Very surprised. And all this stuff here. Liv comes out, just interrupts Danhausen and says, if you don't give me back this money that you stole from us, it's going to be ending badly for you. And Danhausen's like, well, the money, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but the person who's going to be in trouble here is you, because you are cursed. And as soon as that happened, I'm like, well, we know who's winning this match. First of all, let's talk about this, because this irritated me quite a bit. I had to get a sip of my drink. So we had this field of, well, first of all, they tricked us. And I was like, so monsters, they tricked us, and I was ecstatic when I saw the bracket, because I thought it looked like a bunch of singles matches. No, they were four-way matches. Triple H, you've got to get out of this habit of doing triple threat and fatal four-way tournament matches, qualifier matches, to get into the semifinals. Stop that. Anywho, by the way, this is the same dude who booked the Cruiserweight Classic and the Million Classic. Who would have guessed? Anywho, so I'm looking at the men's tournament. I'm like, I see Obafemi there. I'm like, okay, sure, Obafemi, the obvious choice. He had been the favorite, the company favorite for a while. Yo, Jerry, what's up going on, buddy? We're talking right now. I'm doing my Night Champions recap before we get into some of the WWE news and gossip stuff going into SummerSlam and stuff like that. So stick around for that. And then we'll talk about Stardom, TNA, AEW, NXT, go through that, stuff like that. A little bit of TNA too. I'll bring, because I don't actually know that card. I have to bring up the Slammiversary card. I know the main event is Mike Santana and Nick Nemeth, which I might save this Mike Santana stuff for when I talk about that match. But I saw the bracket. I'm like, Obafemi, he's been the favorite to win this tournament since he got called up. And the post stuff at WrestleMania. I don't know. Now, I don't know if you guys can see the chat on the screen, or is it just me? It might just be for me, which is fine. That way it's easier for me to read the chat and look at my notes. So just let me know on that end. But then I saw the women's side of the bracket, and I said, okay, Io Sky's in it. She's the obvious winner here. But then I saw Liv Morgan was in it. And I'm like, isn't she the champion? So I'm like, they really do not have nothing for this woman. I believe the plan on this show, it was either this show, last, was it 3 shows? We had Backlash, Clash, and here. At one of these shows, it was going to be Liv defending the title in a rematch against Stephanie Vicaire. I don't know what the heck happened to Stephanie. She is supposedly hurt. With what injury, I don't know. She disappeared. Oh, well, let me rephrase that. She showed up on the post WrestleMania Raw, and then just disappeared. Listen, Liv Morgan even was surprised. Like, her reaction was legit. She didn't know she was going to be in this tournament. She was not planned to be in this tournament. They just put her in here because they have nothing for her to do. So, whatever. Anywho. So, Liv Morgan's cursed. She comes out of the ring. They have this. It was fine. I don't even know. Maybe 10 minutes, maybe. During the match, they were working on the knee for Io. Now, a lot of people kind of didn't like that they had Io salve the knee and then do the moonsault and act like nothing was that was wrong. It was whatever. But the correct outcome is Io wins. The only problem I had with that is they kind of ruined it for me when they had Io immediately go, "Hey Liv, I'll see you at SummerSlam." If that was the whole thing they were going to do, why have Liv Morgan in this tournament to begin with? Liv Morgan didn't need to be in this tournament. The perfect finals for this was a Charlotte Io finals with Io beating Charlotte. Charlotte didn't need to win the tournament. I don't think people were like, "Well, Charlotte needs to win the Queen of the Ring." No, she doesn't. She's got Charlotte in the bank. She doesn't need to win a tournament to get a title match. We've seen her just be inserted into title matches. For example, WrestleMania 35 when Ronda and Becky were supposed to have their one-on-one match. Charlotte's inserted in that. So all that stuff, whatever. So, but the crowd outcomes to both the tournaments, Obafemi, Io Sky. I'm surprised Roxanne, and I'm starting to wonder, because the match I wanted them to do was Io and Rhea, because for one, that's one of the biggest matches. I know that's a WrestleMania match. That's a match that could absolutely main event a WrestleMania one year. That's the match I thought they were going to do, because they could have told the story of, well, Io wants to face you so she can beat you again. Rhea's like, well, I've never beaten you. I don't want to be able to beat you. Now, I think Io's going to beat Liv at SummerSlam with the help of Roxanne, because I think Roxanne and Raquel will accidentally cost Liv Morgan the match. And then if we're going to do Crown Jewel, we're going to do that, and Rhea's still the champion by the time we get the Crown Jewel. Then we can do Rhea and Io for the Crown Jewel title. Well, without having the titles online, and Rhea can beat Io without having to take Io's title, if that makes sense. That's probably what we're going to do. Either way, as long as we get in another match with Io and Rhea with a decisive end to that story, fine by me. Then we had a steel cage match. Braun Breaker, Seth Rollins. It was pretty good match. But man, if I told you they cooled off the Vision with that Rollins injury, kind of ruined quite a bit of whatever they were doing. And then Braun Breaker got hurt, so a lot of the momentum that this group had just died with both injuries. Because I'm almost positive that had Rollins not got hurt and not vacated the championship, I think we were going to be headed to either at the Rumble earlier this year or at WrestleMania this year, Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins for the title. That didn't happen. We ended up with Punk winning the title, then Punk facing Roman and losing the title there. But we'll get to CM Punk. There's a lot of stuff to talk about when it comes to CM Punk, but yeah, a lot of stuff there. But we'll get to that.
Do you need more drink?
Which one was I talking about there? Oh, the steel cage match. So, like I said, the cage match was fine. Rollins wins. I thought, at first I thought Rollins was winning on Raw. Yeah, no, on Raw. Well, before Raw, at least. And then they did, and then they had the Vision lose the titles. And I'm like, there's a chance Braun can win here. And then on the pre-show, it was either Big E or somebody said that Rollins has never lost a cage match. Well, that's kind of, if we're not counting War Games and Hell in a Cell, that's kind of false because he did lose one in Ring of Honor. I forgot which match it was. I'd have to look it up. I'm not going to look it up, but I'm kind of lazy. But I don't know. So if the plan is to do Roman and Oba at SummerSlam, I don't know what Rollins is going to do. So I'm thinking, somebody pointed out the idea of doing Rollins and Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu could absolutely. There's a theory playing around that Roman told Jacob something in his ear to take care of something. What if that taking care of something is taking care of Seth Rollins? Just think about that for a second. It could be that. We'll see. We'll find out on Raw. Because Oba Femi's got a decision to make. We'll talk about what his decision could be, or what it should be, and what it's probably not going to be. So we'll see. Then we had, I believe it was the United States Championship match, the men's United States Championship match. This is where the crowd just died, right? Not that the match was bad or anything, but the crowd just didn't care very much. Trick is over, obviously, but Wiki Saints, I feel bad. Going to SmackDown's kind of the dead nail in the coffin, whatever. It's kind of a thing with that. But again, up until this point of the show, there was a lot of clean finishes, and I was a little surprised by that. Obviously, they saved the one screwy finish for another match, but Ricky Saints loses clean here. Lil Yachty got involved. Probably the worst wrestling manager I've ever seen. Man gets caught every time. I don't know what Trick does next. I mean, okay, There's going to be some more with Ricky, because Ricky got involved. Didn't get involved, but he showed up post match to. He looks like he was going to attack Trick, and then Eliade came back and hit him with the cane, and they started going back and forth with that. So they'll be still factored into whatever they're going to be doing going into SummerSlam. Hopefully with Carmelo Hayes, we'll see, because Carmelo Hayes did get screwed over again. I think Carmelo Hayes is getting the U.S. title match at SummerSlam, whether it be a triple threat, one-on-one match with Trick, or a one-on-one match with Ricky Saints, but we'll see. A match that I didn't care to see ever again, but for whatever reason said, hey, let's just do this match again, because why not? Come to find out, this match is only taking place because Rhea Ripley is hurt. Because originally Rhea Ripley was scheduled to defend this title, her title, on the show. I guess I don't know against who. Maybe JC Jane. I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about Rhea in a little bit, but it was Jade Cargill challenging Tiffany Stratton again. This time for the United States Women's title. Yes, the Women's United States Championship finally got on the freaking pay-per-view. Should have done that with Julia. Julia should have been on WrestleMania. You could have had the match that Tiffany and Julia had, which was fantastic, on the was it the SmackDown before WrestleMania, or was it the SmackDown after WrestleMania? No, it was the SmackDown before WrestleMania, and they had a fantastic match that could have been on WrestleMania. It was the SmackDown after WrestleMania. I don't know why I can remember what it was, but that was a fantastic match. Same thing with Io and Asuka, but we are not gonna get into that. I could be here all day talking about that. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But this match, I did not care for. This match was, I didn't think they had great chemistry before. I don't think they have it now. This is only done to get Charlotte involved to set up their WrestleMania match. Not WrestleMania, their SummerSlam match, because the plan is to do Charlotte and Jade singles match. To be honest, I really would have put the U.S. title on Jade here to do Jade and Tiffany for the title. Not Tiffany, Jade and Charlotte for the title. And it gets Charlotte away from the women's main title picture for a good while longer. But they didn't do that. Whatever. Anyways. But Tiffany retains due to Charlotte Flair interfering. And that was the only real screwy finish of the show. So yeah, they did a video package for WrestleMania 43. Unfortunately, is in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. No date though, so it may not even happen in April or June. The WrestleMania 43 could absolutely happen in August. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Main event: Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against Sami Zayn and Gunther. Boy, let me tell you how the mighty have fallen for Gunther, man. Gunther last year was going on this tear of just destroying people after the whole thing with Jey Uso winning the title back. He losing to had a great SummerSlam match, main event with CM Punk. Then he retired Goldberg, and then had that great SummerSlam match with Punk. Then went through a tear, had Solo Sikoa's best match of ever. Then won the tournament to see who faces John Cena's last match. Retired John Cena, retired AJ Styles, and then he beats AJ Styles, and then just disappears for weeks on end. Yeah, we're sitting here going to WrestleMania. We're looking up for WrestleMania. It was actually a couple of months, actually. And he's nowhere to be seen. We're looking for him. He's gone. So then, well, he retired AJ Styles. And then I think he had that great match with Dragon Lee right after that. I could be wrong here. If you, correct me if I'm wrong on that one, chat. if you can, that'd be great. So yeah. And then he's like disappeared. He had that great match with Seth Rollins on it, one at WrestleMania, which that match came out of nowhere because actually that match only happened because Braun Breaker was out injured. So and even though Braun Breaker came back anyway in that match, whatever. And then his stock kind of disappeared. And originally, people were under the impression that he was going to do the Brock Lesnar SummerSlam match. That's not probably happening. But the main event was fire. 3 fantastic workers working on the main event, so that was pretty good stuff. I enjoyed that. I did love the powerbomb into the sunset flip by Sami Zayn. That was a great counter. Action throughout the end here. Multiple times they had me thinking Gunther was going to win it. Multiple times they had me when Sami almost won it. They literally almost had me when Cody hit the crossroads on both Gunther and mainly on Sami while Sami had Gunther. It was one of the way around. It was either way around. I can't remember which one it was. But Cody's getting ready to hit another crossroads on Sami. Sami reverses into a roll up, and Sami Zayn wins the WWE Championship. I was shocked. I was like, like I didn't see it coming. A lot of people didn't see it coming. See, and this is why I tell people never put your faith in betting odds, because 9 times out of 10 they're either right or the crap don't matter. So, and here, for example, betting odds, all betting odds sites had Cody Rhodes winning the title, or not winning the title, retaining the title. That didn't happen. Now here is where the tricky stuff happens. Obafemi, like I mentioned earlier, won the King of the Ring. He has the right now to choose, which I'm glad they changed that, because the last was it 3 years? It was the winner faces the champion on their respective brand. So last year, Gunther won. No, was it Gunther? No, Cody won last year, and then he faced the WWE champion. He had to because he was on SmackDown. And then the year prior to that, Gunther had won, and he had to challenge for the world title because he was on Raw. They don't do that anymore. It's kind of like the Royal Rumble now. The winner gets to choose the champion of their choice, which I'm glad they changed that. So now Obafemi has a choice to make whether he's going to go after Roman Reigns or now Sami Zayn. I don't think he's going to make. See, if it was me, he should be absolutely challenging Roman Reigns, and I put out the statement of, if he faces Roman Reigns, he should absolutely squash him the same way Brock Lesnar did at SummerSlam a couple years ago with John Cena. However, that's why I mentioned Brock Lesnar. So, Sami Zayn's the champion. For whatever reason, I know people are celebrating now. Congratulations to Sami Zayn. Absolutely deserves to be a world champion. Worked his ass off, as everyone has said. However, and this is my sad part here, I wouldn't be me if I had to be an evil. I don't know. I don't want to say evil. More like I don't know what you would call it. There's a big show coming up next month in Madison Square Garden called Saturday Night's Main Event. I know I mentioned the Oba Brock match happening there. Well, something tells me the only way we're going to get Brock and Oba 3, because they're not going to do it. I'm telling you, they're not going to have Oba wrestle twice. I had this sneaking suspicion that they're going to have Sami Zayn put the title on the line at Saturday Night's Main Event in New York, Madison Square Garden, and unfortunately, they're going to drop it to Brock Lesnar, and they're going to do Brock and Oba for the title at SummerSlam, and that's how. And then Oba wins the title there. I don't want that. I'm not advocating for it. I want Brock and Oba, or not Brock and Oba. I want Oba and Roman, with Oba beating Roman. Just something tells me they're not gonna do that, because they've been trying to set up Rollins and Reigns again. So there's a lot of moving things here. Where does CM Punk factor into this? Because CM Punk, there's a lot of stuff with him, because he was supposed to be around a lot longer at post WrestleMania, because they had him cut that promo saying, "I'm not going on vacation." He told Cody that you'll never know when a championship opportunity is going to fall out of the sky. And then now there's plans of him moving to SmackDown in 2 weeks. Not this coming Monday, but the following Monday is going to be in Chicago. And he's planning to return there, but he might return to tomorrow, basically, on Raw or SmackDown. But he's supposed to be moving to SmackDown. They could absolutely just have they could absolutely just have Cody win the title back at Saturday Night's Main Event, and then Cody and Punk. But that was the initial plan, was Cody and Punk. I don't know what they're doing now. Where does CM Punk factor into this? Because he's on his he was messing around with people on that cage fighting thing here, because Dave Meltzer, the moron, put out saying, "Oh, now he's having issues or whatever," and basically Punk made fun of it with the Terry Funk. I have a horse race or whatever it is now, horse sick or something. I don't know. But then he made another comment saying, somebody asked him about the next fighting show, the Cage Fury fighting show, and he said, "Is that Friday? I don't know if I can make it." Basically teasing him going to SmackDown. So I don't know what that means for CM Punk. I don't know what's next for Cody Rhodes. I have no interest in seeing Cody and Roman. Not Cody and Roman. I sure as hell don't have any interest in seeing Cody and Roman again. I have no interest in seeing Cody and Orton, because WWE ruined that one with the not. Okay, let me back that up. TKO ruined that one with inserting Pat McAfee into it. So I don't know. We'll see there. I think we kind of now have an idea of what Gunther is going to be doing in Minneapolis, because after the show, WWE, I don't know if this was on the post show, but WWE on Twitter posted up a clip of Gunther arguing with Nick Aldis, and they got physical. And then I have since learned that the working plan is to do Gunther versus Nick Aldis at SummerSlam. If that is their plan for Gunther at SummerSlam, fine by me. I've been waiting to see Nick Aldis wrestle, and wrestle since he's moved to WWE in a very long time. We could have got it with Drew. Poor Drew doesn't get his Nick Aldis match. Gunther gets first. No, there's a good chance that they do this Gunther match with Nick Aldis, and Nick Aldis retires from the ring. Who knows? We'll see. But that looks to be the plan for SummerSlam. So here's what SummerSlam's kind of looking like right now. The only match we know is 100% confirmed is Liv Morgan and Io Sky. I hope to God they don't put Stephanie Vicaire in there. I love Stephanie, but if she wants a title match, give it to her at Night Champions. Saturday Night's Main Event, move on from there. Oba will challenge either Oba will challenge Roman or Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn is still the WWE champion. I have this weird feeling they're going to put the title on Brock, though. Nick Aldis and Gunther, supposedly. After the night, Charlotte and Jade. There's a good chance. Now, somebody's asked me, well, what are you going to do with Rhea? The working idea is JC Jane, but I love JC Jane, but this is way too soon to do that. She literally just got called up. I know people saying, well, they're strapping The Rock into Obafemi. Look, I love JC Jane, but JC Jane is not Obafemi. Okay, Obafemi got over super quickly. They could do Blake Monroe, but again, same thing there. We don't have a lot of singles. I mean, we're probably gonna have Rhea. Not Rhea. What the hell is her name? I just thought Charlotte and Jade as a singles non-title match at SummerSlam. I don't know. We got 2 nights, so we'll see there. Hopefully Rhea's going to be back in time. They're talking like she's going to be back in time, but we'll see. So that is the main WWE. Oh, I actually got some. I'll talk about that when I get to NXT, because Hiromu Takahashi seems to have a new name. Actually, I might as well talk about it now. So WWE trademarked earlier today, which the timing of this could not be perfect, by the way. Could not be more perfect. So WWE trademarked another ring name for, I believe it's Bakusai. If I butchered that, I do apologize. And I looked in to see when. First, I was wondering if it was Japanese or not. It is absolutely Japanese, and it means blasting into bits or bombing to smithereens. Now, I just dropped my pen. I dropped my pen. Sorry about that. Now, if you guys know your history with New Japan Pro Wrestling and this particular person of Los Ingobernables de Japón, Hiromu Takahashi's nickname is the Ticking Time Bomb. I have learned, thank God it's not Nox Raijin. I don't know who's going to be called Nox Raijin. Though the word Raijin is a great name. Thank God it's not what the name they gave Evil. Evil's now being Naraku, which to me is a way cooler name than Nox Raijin. I think Bakusai is going to be the name for Hiromu Takahashi going forward. I was told. Now listen, I know I don't seem like a guy who is a insider, but I do have some scoops every now and then. No one credits me for it, but I don't care. Because I was told about the Io Sky Mayu Iwatani match happening at Grand Destiny last year. That ended up happening. I wasn't told they were main eventing. I just knew they were going to be on that match was happening. I was told about the Crown Jewel match last year between Io and Rhea against the Kabuki Warriors. That ended up happening. I was told about the Io Asuka match at one point, which was originally going to be Asuka and Kairi, and I don't know what they were going to do with. So I think the original plan was Asuka and Kairi, and then Io and Rhea were going to be in the tag team. So, anyways, there's that. Some other news. So, Gunther and Aldis is something. If it ends up happening, you heard it here. And other places too, but this is where I heard it from. Evil. But I was told, I don't remember exactly when I was told this. Might have been a couple weeks ago, that Hiromu Takahashi has signed a contract. This is I'm still trying to get this confirmed, but I was told that he has signed a contract with WWE, which is why you have not seen Mr. Hiromu Takahashi on Pro Wrestling No or anywhere else lately. So he is coming in, possibly tonight at the Great American Bash. So, yeah. So I'm looking forward to see what they do with Hiromu Takahashi. Loving me some Hiromu. I'm actually quite surprised he went to WWE, given his multiple appearances in New Japan, in AEW last year. Obviously, it's Forbidden Door. He wrestled Kyle Fletcher in a fantastic match for I believe it was the TNT Championship. And then a couple times, and the other time he was in the pre-show with Yoda Tsuji, which is funny that Yoda Tsuji's not doing the show this year because Yoda Tsuji's a boss. And the time he missed out on teaming with Sting and Darby Allin, but and I believe he's had a few other. I think that's right. He's had a few regular AEW appearances and I think a few Ring of Honor appearances. So Tony Khan has treated Takahashi well, but Takahashi, I'm just a little surprised he is going to WWE. However, if he brings Daryl with him, and they sell Daryl plushies, that thing's going to get over like hotcakes. Obviously, I don't think they're going to be able to call him Daryl, because I believe New Japan owns the Daryl name, but we'll see there. AAA, yes, you hear me talk about AAA. First of all, I want to talk about that match of the year classic between Grande Americano and original Grande Americano, which ended up being Chad Gable losing his mask, becoming an ultra baby face, now trying to wheel his way back into good graces with people. We saw Maxine getting ready their little teaser with her telling heel and possibly joining the Vision, like the Vision needs anybody else. Like that's going to help them get any better. But with Chad Gable, I think the plan is for Chad Gable to be featured prominently on SummerSlam. To me, you should do the match that Penta and Chad Gable's the match to do. It was Penta's first match in the WWE. What a circle run. Actually, it was not only that, it was the match that started this whole concept of him hating luchadors, trying to do all that stuff. So, doing Gable, Penta, IC title, Gable wins the IC title in front of his hometown people at SummerSlam is the way to go there. But Ludwig Kaiser looks like he's about to win the AAA Mega title from Dominic Mysterio. I think they booked that match for when the big show is coming up. I don't think it's Triple Mania. I think there's another show. I could be wrong. But yeah, El Grande Americano has a right to challenge for the AAA Mega title, so they're going to do that. Damian Priest appeared on AAA. He's now doing some cool stuff over there. That's fine. So, and it makes sense because obviously the War Raiders are the AAA Tag Team Champions, and they're going after Priest and Truth. So that makes sense. So yeah, I think Grande is going to win the title. This new faction here, Carmen Petrovich. I know the whole shit with her that she said on my. I don't know why. What I was saying was, she's not. What I mean by she's not gonna last long in the group is, I'm not saying she's getting fired. I mean, come on now. She's a placeholder for that group, because Xena is coming in. Xena, when we get to Stardom, we'll talk about that. But Xena is getting ready to leave Stardom on the 8th. She's headed to WWE. The idea is that she will be the one to actually join the I don't remember what the name of the group is called, but it's also a group that was originally by Pablo, the kid who unfortunately passed away in the match with Rey Mysterio. His family greenlit it or gave the blessing to use it, so they're going to use it. We'll see. That's what they're doing with Los Garza. I think, is it Los Garza? I think it is. Is it Los Garza? Or, yeah, no, it's Los Garza because the other people are with the LWO. Anyways, so, but yeah, that's basically all the gist of going on with the AAA. AAA is a great product right now, by the way. Undertaker and Jeremy Boyer are actually doing some fantastic stuff down there. It's my favorite thing to watch on the weekends when it comes to WWE, I tell you that one. One of my favorite things not to watch, though, is TNA. Oh, man. What this whole thing with TNA and everyone's leaving. I don't know if you noticed this. So Steve Steve Macklin requested I think he requested his release or something. And 1 second, excuse me. I didn't want to sneeze on camera. Whew. He left. Tessa Blanchard's left. Sami Callahan was fired. Tommy Dreamer was basically fired from his creative position. They're bringing the Road Dogg for whatever freaking reason. TNA is in a whole lot of mess here. I'm not even going to go through that card here. Mike Santana's leaving after his contract expires next month. He's going to WWE, possibly going to skip NXT. We'll see where he goes there. But my God, Carlos Sylvia, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, come on. Fix your stuff. I don't even know if I want to spend time talking about TNA. Which is probably why I'm not going to. TNA, I even put it in my notes there. TNA, LOL TNA. So, there's that. Stardom recap. So this is what I like to talk about. Stardom. I love me some World Wonder Ring Stardom news here. Utami Hayashisa came back to Stardom. She left Marty Gold. I think she was gonna, or at least I thought she was gonna explore her options, maybe be a freelancer. Nope, she went straight back to Stardom. I know they're doing a great story here with Momo Watanabe and Saya Kamatani and her. They started this whole thing with conversion, doing this Queen's Quest. I'm gonna be honest with you, Queen's Quest lore. I'd rather watch that than Bloodline lore, but that's just me. So the conversion happened. Yeah, conversion was a pretty good show. Suzu Suzuki won the red belt, saving us from the reign of terror, even though it was like 2 months. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it was a pivot. The attendance went down when Carraro was the champion. They only put the title on her because of the whole thing with Tam. Who cares? Anyways, I'm not gonna get into that. I'm not gonna start anything with the Tam Nakano fans because, my God, you can't win with those people. But they're teasing something. I don't know. But what I loved about the 8-woman tag between Neo Genesis, which was Starlight Kid, Azumi, and Miyu Amasaki teaming with Utami, taking on Hate members Momo, Saya, B, and Konami. Momo came out. This was her return match, by the way. She had been gone for a couple months. She'd been gone since November. She had that one-off match, the retirement match with Saki Kashima, but other than that, she'd been rehabilitated, healing from I believe a knee ankle injury that she suffered at Revolution last year, and it just got worse because she kept wrestling, so she wanted to take some time off there. But she came out by herself with some blue in her gear. Then they did that whole spot. You know, they always do this in Momo matches where they have Momo accidentally hit one of her teammates with the bat. Normally, this is why it's different, because normally when they do it, they don't care. Like, Hate never really cares, but here they did it, and Hate's like, "What are you doing?" They were they were pissed that Momo cost them the match against Utami. Saya was pissed. So now we've got this whole situation here with Saya and Momo, which I think is legit now. I think they're finally actually going to do this turn. They're in the same block with a 5-star. We'll get to the 5-star in a little bit. Utami's getting a title match, which, when is she getting this title match? This weekend, this Tuesday, I believe. I don't think she's winning it. I think Saya's gonna try to come out here and screw her over because she's in the 5-star too. We'll talk about the 5-star in a little bit, but a lot of interesting variables into this here. Starlight Kid is not going to be on today's Stardom show because she and Micah is over in America being part of the Forbidden Door show. So we'll get to the Forbidden Door card in a little bit. But let me run down the Stardom's 5-star Grand Prix. They're doing the Red Stars B, Stars A crap again. I don't like that, but anyways. So here's Red Stars A. We have Micah, Sayaka Kara, the former Red Belt champion, Rina, Tomika Inaba, Aoki, who is going to be in it, Azumi, Natsuko Tora, and then they got the qualifier match, so we'll see who gets into that. Red Stars B is Konami, Saya Ida, Lady C, Asusa Inaba, Mei Sanda, Rina Yamashita, who had a great match with Hire for the IWGP Women's title, by the way. Maki Ito, Utami Hayashita, Sayaka. Actually, hold on. I'll be right back, guys. I will be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Maybe John Elite. What's up, John? Oh, good lord. See, here's the problem. Chat, so this chat didn't update itself when I was... Jesus Christ, let me go through the... Hold on. Let me go through this. I apologize. This thing didn't want to update its chat here. So, John Elite says, yeah, Liv's going to have her first title defense at SummerSlam, but I would just have her lose it. Yeah, John. The winner gets to choose their championship challenge. Yeah, that was something they changed here. Yeah, that was the last 3. They changed it, so there's that. Bronson Reed got injured too. I think he's gonna be coming back soon. Don't know what he's doing though. Oh, that's awesome, Michelle. What's going on, Michelle? Holly Holm. Thirsting over Holly Holm there. Yeah. What they're talking about? Oh, I would hope not. But because I believe their deal with Saudi ends next year. This is probably why they want... Not next year. It's either 2028 or 2027. Oh, no. And technology, yeah, it's a lot of stuff there. Sami Zayn, first Muslim. Yeah, that's also an interesting factor. So, Zayn, first Muslim wrestler to win the championship. First proper Canadian to win the WWE Championship since... Might have been since Bret Hart? I say proper Canadian because no one wants to talk about Jinder Mahal. Yeah. Steve Macklin resigned a couple months ago, but he wants nothing to do with this company anymore. Nick Aldis is the plan is for him to wrestle Gunther at SummerSlam. They're not. Oba's not pulling double duty, by the way. They have no reason to have him pull double duty. If he's going to wrestle Brock, just have Brock win the title from Sami at SummerSlam at Madison Square Garden. But Leon Slater, you would think he'd go to WWE, but something tells me he's going to go to AEW. Anyways, let's go back to this 5-star Grand Prix stuff here. Yeah, I'm sorry the chat doesn't want to update itself. I had to close the chat and reopen it just to read it. All right, so we're into Blue Stars Blue Stars A now. Aya Sakura, Hanako, Rion, Miyu Amazaki, Hina, Ruaka, B Breezy, the World Stardom Champion Suzuki, Blue Stars B, Blue Stars B is a interesting block for quite a few reasons. Got Starlight Kid, Hanan, Yuna Mizori, Koguma, Ami Sourei, Sakana Tani, Momo Watanabe, last year's winner, and the other qualifier here. One of those qualifiers I think is going to go to Akira Korogane, and the other one, I don't know, because Shirai's not going to be in it. Natsubo's not in it. Hazuki's not going to be in it. I don't know what credentials we're talking about here, but what is this? I don't know what that's about. I don't know what I'm getting a weird notification here. I'm not what the hell? I don't know. It says the request. I don't know what request is happening. I ain't requested anything. Let's see. I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm not gonna mess with that. That's just gonna have to do here. I don't know what the hell is going on there. I ain't even gonna worry about it. I'm not even gonna attempt to look up what that is. Anyways. But yeah, Blue Stars B is an interesting block because you got last year's winner, Momo Watanabe, and then this is ongoing thing with Sai Kamatani. They're going to be in the same block. That match is going to be very interesting. It's going to be very different from their Crimson Nightmare encounter. And this time, I think they're actually going to hate each other. And I think Momo will at this point will be kicked out of the group. SLK should not be picked to win it. I would love it, but I don't think so. So my prediction for my winner is Rina. I've been saying that for quite a while now. I've been saying that for about Momo Watanabe too. Every year, Momo Watanabe is my pick to win it. Last year, she was my pick to win it. She ended up winning the whole thing. Micah, who ended up getting to the finals of the 2023 one, who should have won it, but she still got the title in the end. That was weird. So that whole thing kind of finished. I don't know what happened there. That was weird. So I just had a weird notification pop up about some request thing. That kind of finished itself, I guess. But who I think is going to be, I think the finals is going to be Saya Kamatani and Utami. With Utami winning the finals. Actually, you know what? I think there's a good chance Sai Kamatani wins the tournament, but then also I've seen a lot of people say that Sai could be, you know what? I don't think Sai is going to win the tournament. I don't think she makes the finals because I think Momo Watanabe, there's a good chance they might run back Momo Watanabe in the finals again. I think Momo is going to be the reason why Sai does not make it to the finals, or even out of the block. I think we may be looking at Arena Momo finals. I mean, if it was up to me, if it was up to me, Rina and Hanan would be my finals, with Rina getting her win back, and then Rina going on to challenge. I know people said, well, why would she be challenged the white belt? because that's the belt that's the belt she wants. So I just go with that there. But yeah, I'm gonna go with my prediction is Rena to win the tournament. Who I think they're gonna give it to? I think they're gonna give it to Sai Kamatani. I hope not. Or they might give it to Hanan. Or who knows? We'll see. We'll see there. Let's see. Hold on a second. For other news here, I'm gonna check something out real quick. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. All right. Sorry about that. That was weird. Chatting updates, so whatever. So yeah, that's basically the starting thought there. So yeah, we'll see what the outcome is. Whether or not if Utami wins the red belt, then Utami's not winning. The Utami and Saya's not making the finals for sure. So we'll see. I want to talk about my little adventure to AEW. I had my first AEW experience live. Basics. Yes, I live in South Carolina because Why not? I know a lot of people said, "Oh, why are they going back to the venue?" I'm like, listen, this is the only venue where I can actually go see these shows. Okay, I'm not going all the way to like Columbia and shit. Okay. Anywho, I had fun. I got to see John. I got to see Okada wrestle. So that was pretty fun. So yeah. So my best part of that show didn't have to hear Excalibur. So yeah. Let's talk about predictions now. We got our big shows here. We got Forbidden Door and Great American Bash. We're going to run through Great American Bash first. Because that is the earlier well, technically it's on the same time. But it's kind of an earlier show here. So we got... Alright, so we're going to run through the non-title matches first. Which I'm a little surprised the tag team titles not being different, but it's fine. Charlotte Hills will take on Tristan Angels. They've been having this little Mr. NXT feud going on here. Charlotte Hills, I believe, beat Tristan in this little puny pageant thing here. I think Tristan Angels is going to get the win here over Charlotte Hills. Which for some have it as Trista. I should change that. Because I think they see, if I'm being honest, nothing against Charlotte Hill, I think WWE has a more higher ceiling, or not ceiling, but sees bigger things for Tristan Angels. From what I've seen, I like Tristan Angels. He's got a great look to him. He's great promo ability. Really good in the ring. And those British type of gimmicks will always get heel heat, and I love it. So I got Tristan Angels to win here, win here. Another non-title match here. Dion Lennox versus Shaquan Sugars. Shaquan should win this match. He had a hell of a promo with Dion Lennox on SmackDown, or not SmackDown, NXT. I'm picking with Shaquan to win. I'm not the biggest Dark State fan. They remind me too much of Retribution, and we don't need that anymore in WWE. So, so I'm gonna go with Shaquan to win here. Let's go on the title matches here. Rin Sinclair. I don't know. I almost call her Wendy Richter. I don't know why. Rin Sinclair is going to defend her Speed Championship against Ariana Grace. I love Rin Sinclair, but something tells me they're just going to have Ariana Grace win here, even though it was kind of, well, you know what? Now they've been kind of setting up Izzy Dame to take that title, so I'm gonna switch it up and change my answer, my prediction to Rin Sinclair. And I think there's a good chance that I don't think Ariana Grace is going to last very long in WWE. Something tells me they're going to move her over completely to TNA. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to go with Sinclair to retain here. So then her and Izzy Dame going to have that match that they've been setting up for God knows how long. The NXT North American Women's Championship is on the line. Zarya is going to be defending in a rematch against Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley lost the championship in a fantastic match a few weeks ago in NXT. I forget, there might have been it might have been special, or just might have been regular NXT, I don't know. This, I believe, will be Tatum Paxley's swan song in NXT, because she, after the match that she had, where she lost the title, she spent the time saying goodbye to NXT crowd. So I think Zarya retains here, and Tatum Paxley moves up to Raw. She needs to go to Raw. SmackDown kind of has beefed up their women's division now. Because they got Julie over there. They've got called up the Fatal Influence. They called up Blake Monroe. So now Raw needs something, and I would still move Julie over to Raw. So Tatum Paxley, and by the way, it works with Tatum Paxley going to Raw because they just turned Lyra Valkyria heel. So they could do a lot of things with that. We'll see. Will they? We'll see. The Men's North American Championship is online. Miles Bourne will defend against Tavion Heights. I don't think Tavion Heights is going to win the title here. They're really high on Miles Bourne or Randy Orton Jr. But they could put the title on Tavion. We'll see. I think they're saving somebody else, I don't know who, for Miles Bourne to eventually use the title too. So, yeah. Main event. Oh, actually, it's not the main event. The match that's actually opening. Oh, by the way, I should point this out here. This is going to be the first NXT PLE on CW. So they've got a lot of all the NXT shows, PLE shows, are going to be moved to CW for the future until they might change it. I don't know. So what's opening is the NXT Championship match between Tony D'Angelo defending against Naraku, formerly known as Evil. By the way, congratulations to Naraku and Io Sky. They announced their marriage a few weeks ago. Not weeks ago, a month ago or so ago. So imagine that. Imagine Io Sky wins King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, and Naraku wins the NXT Championship, because I'm picking Naraku to win the NXT title. You do not put the NXT Championship, not the NXT Championship, you do not put Naraku in the position of having an NXT title match after only having one match, and him to not win the championship. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many matches Nakamura had before he had won the NXT title. It couldn't be many. So I think Naraku wins the championship, and I think here is where they have the debut of Bakusai, which is going to be Hiromu Takahashi. I think Hiromu Takahashi's debuting on the show. At least that's what I've heard. We'll see. And then what they're listing as the main event, which is a weird, unless they know something when they're going to do when AEW is going to do their women's title matches. Lola Vice defending the NXT championship women's championship against Kendall Gray. Picking Kendall Gray to win the championship. So I'm picking two title changes: the men's world title and the women's world title. Naraku walking away with the NXT title, and Kendall Gray walking away with the women's title. Lola Vice, I think, is going to be moved up to the main roster, or they just move her over completely to AAA somewhere. If they're going to move her to the main roster, she's going to go to SmackDown to be with Damian Priest. Tony D'Angelo, they'll probably move him up, or he might just leave. I don't know what they're going to do with him on the main roster. So that's basically the card for NXT. Thankfully, the match I'm actually looking for, more interested in seeing is the title match with Naraku. So that's going to be on before Forbidden Door. For matches I want to see at Forbidden Door. So yeah. Let's go into Forbidden Door. We're going to go do our Forbidden Door preview or predictions here. I'm going to find my card here. Hold on a second. There it is. Alright. Like I say, I normally, if you know me, I don't normally write down my notes on a piece of paper. I did this time. So here's the Forbidden Door card. We have the pre-show matches, the two pre-show matches that have been announced here. A match that was just announced for the survival of the fittest TBS qualifier match to finish out that thing, which is happening on Wednesday, which I believe has Hikaru Shida, Harley Cameron, Mina Shirakawa, oh my god, I don't remember who else. But it's Sky Blue versus Micah. Micah's AEW debut. She did one match for Ring. Oh, no, she's had a couple matches for Ring of Honor, but this is her AEW debut. I don't think Micah's gonna win here. I know she's not booked for the show. Same day as Dynamite, but I think Sky Blue's gonna win here. Because I have a stinking suspicion about the women's championship match when we get to that. Divine Dominion is going to defend the women's tag team titles against Thunder Rosa and Olympia from CMLL. They're not going to win the tag team titles because Divine Dominion is going to go into All In as the champions, and they're going to lose to Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor. The AEW, this is now we're going into the main card. The AEW tag team titles are on the line. Agent Christian defending against the Dogs. David Finley and what the hell is his name? Clark Connors. The Dogs are not winning the tag team titles because Agent Christian are going to be walking into LA All In as tag team champions, because I think they're going to do them and the Young Bucks and maybe FTR and maybe the New Day in some type of TLC match of some sort at All In. Speaking of the Bucks, it has no bearing on the tag team titles at all, but it's a three-way. The Bucks are going to be taking on Mystico and Masco Dorado, both are AEW talent, but they're representing CMLL here, against Shingo Takagi and Titan from New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm going to go with the Young Bucks here. Glad Shingo's on the card, but it's not the Shingo match I wanted. I wanted Shingo Takagi and let's see. Why did I thought that was why did I think that was new here? Anyways, where were they going? Oh, I want Shingo Takagi and Brody King is the match I wanted, but they were not going to do that. But I'm going to go with the Young Bucks to win here. Keep that momentum going, because they're going to be getting the next shot at the AEW Tag Team Championships. Jon Moxley will be defending the AEW Continental title against Bandito, Ring of Honor World Champion. This is going to be a fantastic match. Bandito, I love Bandito. But he's not going to... I would like for him to win the AEW Continental title, but that's not going to happen. Moxley's going to retain. I don't know who Moxley wrestles at All In, though. That's the thing we're trying to figure out. And there's also Redemption next month, so we'll see there. The one and only New Japan title being defended on the show. The IWGP Global Championship. Shota Umino defending against Pac. Pac called out Shota Umino. Shota Umino can accept it, so this is the only one here. Shota's going to retain. I have no... there's like one title I think will change hands, and I'm about to talk about here, which is Tekla defending the AEW Women's title against Starlight Kid. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why would you say that there, Misfit? Well, first of all, this has been a great build. This is probably the only match on the entire show that has the most Forbidden Door build of all Forbidden Door. Tekla got fired from Stardom. Stardom had the Las Vegas show. She showed up there and beat the crap out of Toru Okada. Starlight Kid here accepted the open challenge after Stardom, after Tekla spit on the Stardom logo and made fun of him. She showed up at the conversion, beat the crap out of Okada again. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why would she win? Why would she lose? Well, if Starlight Kid, if we go into this pay-per-view and Starlight Kid just straight up loses to Tekla, that's going to look bad on Stardom, and it's going to make AEW look bad for having a partnership with Stardom. So, hold on, let me be right back. Me and my little brother coughing here. Hold on a second. So, like I said, I think that would look bad on Stardom and AEW if Tekla just goes in there and beats her clean or whatever. So here's what I'm thinking. Micah loses because of shenanigans with who the hell is the other woman? Julia screwing over Micah. Micah comes out later on the night, screws over Tekla. Tekla loses the AEW Women's title to Starlight Kid. Starlight Kid Lou will lose it. Not back to Tekla at Redemption. I'll get the why in a little bit. But this gives a reason for Tekla to try to find her way into the 5-Star Grand Prix, because I think the other TBD might even be a qualifier. I think they're going to give that to Tekla. I think Akira Gane and Tekla is going to get that spot. Why would Tekla get that spot? Well, it gives her a reason to want to get her hands on the rest of the Starlight Kid again for taking the title from her. Or they can put her in the same qualifier block with Micah. So, because she can get her hands on Micah, it works out wonders. And then we got Mercedes Moné will lose to Maya World. That's my prediction. And the Owen Hart finals, because I think Mercedes is going to win the title at Redemption, because it's the same thing, Redemption, and then she is going to walk into and retain the championship at All In against Maya World. They're going to run this match back. And Mercedes will, like I said, will beat Starlight Kid. Starlight Kid will only have the championship for a month. I know that'll happen while there's 5-Star Grand Prix going on. Realistically, she only needs the one day. That one Sunday, that's it. As long as this doesn't fall on her when they schedule one of her matches for the 5-Star Grand Prix, that's fine. I would actually have to look what the schedule is for that, and then look at the date for Redemption. Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. Kenny Omega is going to get the win here because he will be the one to challenge MJF for the AEW Championship at Redemption and win the title there. Will Ospreay will defeat Swerve Strickland. Then we'll go on to win the AEW Championship against Kenny Omega in the main event of Wembley Stadium. And Team Briscoe, which is... I don't want to mess this up here. It's Mark Briscoe, Roderick Strong, Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, and Konosuke Takeshita and Darby Allin. There it is. They're taking on Team MJF, Kevin Knight, Okada, basically the Don Callis family. That's it. I think Team Briscoe's gonna win here till he can get his championship match on Dynamite with MJF and lose that, so MJF can then go on to challenge or defend against Kenny Omega to win, to then set up the match with Ospreay and Omega for the championship at Wembley Stadium. So basically that's all I have. That's my predictions for both those two shows. By the way, I think Nick Nemeth is going to win the TNA title. So this up with Mike Santana. I'm trying to see if I got anything else I wanted to talk about here. Let's see. I ran through Night Champions, WWE news, AEW stuff. Yeah, Stardom stuff. Did I have anything else I wanted to talk about? I might do a Raw review on Monday. I don't know. We'll see. Because they're going to be taping SmackDown afterwards. So we'll see whether or not CM Punk shows on the program or not. But, yeah, I don't have anything else to talk about here. I got to plug my phone up a little bit. But, yeah. I think I did pretty good for my first live stream on my phone in like many months. We'll see. I'm still trying to figure out how to use this app here correctly, but until then, I guess I will see you guys back. I might, you know what, depending on how I feel about tomorrow's show, I might just come on here and talk about Forbidden Door with you guys. and maybe a little bit of NXT, but mainly Forbidden Door. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow night. But until then, I've been Matt the Misfit. You can, like I said, you can follow me, Piledriver Balls on Twitter, Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram. That would basically be it. I'm probably not going to no longer put my shows back up on what is that place called? Spotify. I'm not really on there that much anymore with that. I'm working on getting a new theme song too. Actually, I don't think I've played the new theme song. I can't really. I have no way to. But yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Hopefully we'll get back to doing my other stuff. My 2K20 stuff. Not the game 2K20, but the 2K game stuff that I like to do with my WAW stuff. Because I'm working on bringing back Rebellion and stuff like that. You saw and stuff. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But until then, I hopefully will see you guys tomorrow night. If not, I will tweet about it. And probably get on people's nerves with some wrestling opinions of mine. If you don't like it, I don't really give a damn. My opinions. So, who cares if you don't like it or not? So, yeah. But yeah, I will see you guys later. Until then, we're out.